Hi, everyone, and welcome to Move Beyond the Box to Empower Your Life, the podcast that speaks to those who want to make a difference and become the leader of their own life with full autonomy. If you're a manager, a leader, or entrepreneur, and you want to make a real impact on your team, your business, and most importantly, manage both your professional and personal life in harmony, you are in the right place. Today, I have a simple but essential question for you. Are you a real or a fake manager? You think you know the answer? You might be surprised by the reality. So let's take a few minutes to dive deeper into this question together. Let's start with the basic definition. What is a manager? According to Google, a manager is someone who manages someone else's professional life, like an artist or an athlete, or runs a business or a team. That's why we all understand by the term manager. In a corporate setting, having this title means you're supposed to manage teams and lead projects. But here is where many get it wrong. Just having the title of manager doesn't mean you're truly embodying the role. From my experience, I've seen a striking reality, especially in France and Monaco, where I also work. Unlike the USA, where lived experience speaks for itself, here in Europe, status is what defines a person. I've met many managers who wear the label but are not living up to the essence of it. They are playing the part, pretending, doing the best to act like a manager without really embracing leadership. So, how about you? Are you a manager who truly inspires or just someone doing the job? Let's give you a real example of a fake manager. When I was consulting in Monaco, I met a manager in sales and marketing who came to the office every morning without saying hello to her team. I asked her why she didn't greet her staff. She said she was so focused on getting her own task done to provide value to the top management that she completely forgot about her team. You see the problem here? It wasn't that she lacked the skills. She was fully capable of being a manager, as the title required, but she was acting out of unconscious conditioning. She was still operating like an employee, trying to prove her worth, rather than stepping into the role of a leader. That's where my holistic and unique coaching approach comes in. Combining my knowledge from my 2 MBA in France and in the US, my expertise in neuropsychology, and my experiences, I help you remove limiting beliefs and deprogram the blocks holding you back so you can unlock your full potential. Often, a lack of recognition during childhood impacts how we manage today. We unknowingly repeat the pattern of trying to prove our worth instead of just being who we are. So, ask yourself these simple questions. Do I prioritize my own task over the dynamics of my team? Am I trying to prove something to my hierarchy instead of actually guiding my employees? Fake managers focus on themselves rather than their team, often without realizing it. They play it safe instead of taking risk for their team. They check off items are there to do the list without taking the time to lead and inspire, preventing their team from truly shining. Fake management doesn't just apply to salaried employees, but also to entrepreneurs especially when setting up a business. When you launch your own firm, whether you like it or not, you often carry other employees' habits. But there's a necessary transition from the employee mindset where you're used to getting a paycheck every month to the entrepreneurial mindset where you need to go out and find your own clients. This transition can be challenging, and that's where many entrepreneurs act like employees in their own business. They want different results, but keep operating the same way they did before. The result, but it doesn't work. So you need to shift your mindset and truly embody the role of leader, the captain of your own ship. And that's where I come in to help you train your mind to embrace a new way of being, becoming the leader of both your professional and personal life. Why do I mention both professional and personal life? Because everything starts with you, from you. You cannot effectively manage others if you don't know how to manage yourself first. We lead by example. That's why, through my coaching, I introduce different ways to manage yourself, your thoughts, your words, your action, and also how to know yourself better, your emotions, your beliefs, your relationship. Now take your relationship with authority. For example, are you more of a follower or a leader? I ask this because I've seen so many managers who, despite their best efforts, struggle to fully embody their managerial role. Why? Because they are naturally followers rather than leaders. And that's okay. The key is to know what is right for you at the present moment. Do you feel valued when you excel at tasks given to you by the hierarchy? Or do you enjoy taking the first steps at a free electron, initiating action and guiding others? True leaders don't just react to situations like a firefighter is putting out fires when everything falls apart. They act. They anticipate and reorganize their team. They make decisions, even risky ones, to guide their team forward. This reminds me of a team leader I coached who found himself without anyone to cover the 7-9 shift in his establishment. Instead of reorganizing his team, he decided to do the work himself. He stepped in and filled the gaps. You might think, but he was being responsible. But in reality, he abandoned his role as a leader to act as an employee. The result? He lost credibility with his team. What he did was reactive management, short-term thinking, that's settling in the long term. A real manager can certainly support their team on the ground. That's not the issue. But right away, managers need to find a solution, test new ways of organizing so they don't step into the employees' roles. They must maintain their position as a leader. Remember, in a business, everyone has their own role. A manager cannot take on the role of an employee. That's why managing your time is crucial to avoid falling into the trap of playing the staff role when you're supposed to be the manager. Time management is critical for staying a real manager during crisis and beyond. Indeed, to stay a real manager, it's essential to manage your time well and maintain a healthy balance between your professional and personal life. Otherwise, we end up with managers in serious imbalance. Those who are still working after 7 p.m., those who travel way too much to boost their business and hardly see their family, or even those who sacrifice their love life to submit body and soul to their work, especially if they work with their family, unconsciously suffering an emotional hold, often linked to the bond of dysfunctional loyalty. That's why, through my long experience as a leader and my psycho-emotional approach, I guide you in reclaiming every part of your life, because it's that balance that brings you inner harmony and vital health. As you've understood, the difference between a real and a fake manager lies in embodying the role. It's not your status or the task you complete that make you leader. Being a real manager isn't just a title, it's a mindset. It starts with managing yourself first so you can better manage your team and your business. But to manage yourself, your team, and your business efficiently, we all need time. So, how do you find that time? How do you manage it better? Balance your professional and personal life, stay healthy, and still accomplish all the projects that inspire you. That's why I would like to propose an online workshop also in English, where we will tackle these questions head on. If you're interested, simply write yes in the comments section. Once I have your feedback, I will organize this event just for you. Thank you for listening. If this episode spoke to you, please like, subscribe, and share your question in the comments section. I will be, of course, happy to answer you. And of course, see you soon for another episode of Move Beyond the Box.